And we're live.
Happy Feel Good Friday. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all the good stuff. It's another show brought to you by our buddy Billy W. Merritt, who he pops in once in a while. That's all I can say. But anyway, he presents the show, Feel Good Friday. I'm your host, Paul Sullivan. Back behind the scenes, I call him Sean. I call him Smith. I call him all kinds of names you can't see behind the scenes. But yeah, we're actually starting on time today. So hey, how about the I'm not free. I'm not freezing up like it was last week. I was trying to do it from Chicago on the phone, and it just So we had a very abbreviated show last week. So we'll try to give you the full blown experience this week going on. So we are 1 week away from 8 days away from Christmas. So now we'll ask the question: do you have your Christmas shopping done?
No, and the Christmas tree's not.
I was just gonna. That was question number 2. Was do you have the Christmas tree up? So if you recall, if you're new to the program, Sean said December 2nd was like the best time to put the Christmas tree up. It is now December 17th, 15 days behind. Here's your 15-day late notice.
Okay, here are my priorities. No Christmas tree up, no Christmas shopping, but I spent all evening the other day putting up my green screen, and I'm working on a video called Merry Christmas, Netflix Bebop is dead, because it got canceled, and I'm happy.
It did get I didn't watch any of it. I
watched 2 minutes of it.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. So it was that bad. 2 minutes, you're like, I'm out.
Well,
I'm out.
I mean, this is basically what the video is in summary, but Cowboy Bebop is a classic, 90s show. It's very old school. It's very bluesy, very down to earth. I watched 2 minutes of the Netflix version. It's like slow motion backflips and like cheesy one-liner jokes, and it's not Cowboy Bebop.
So it wasn't even 2 minutes worth. I mean, it wasn't even, it didn't even have really 2 minutes worth of quality. You were hanging going, it's got to get better. It's got to get better. 1 minute in, he's going, it's got to get better. It's got to get better. It's got to get better. And then 2 minutes in, he's like, it's not getting better. I'm out. I'm done.
Pretty much.
So I tell you what, so no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think I have gotten better over time at realizing quickly, like, whether or not I'm going to enjoy something. If something starts with like a 1 or 2 minute scene where it's like nothing but character introductions, that's like an obvious sign to me. Okay, this show is happy to waste my time immediately. I'm out. So I mean,
it's going to waste my time immediately. I'm out. By the way, good morning to my mom, who was right there on time at 11 o'clock. I spent a lot of time with her. I was in Chicago last week for quite a few days, actually. I mean, I had a really good time, and saw my family, saw my friends. I always do that. I always go earlier, like I'm never there actually on Christmas. Right. So I'll usually go like the first or second weekend of December. Flights are cheaper. Traveling is just simpler because it's not as busy, so it's not near as packed. You don't have not that you can't get a flight delay early in December, but chances of you getting a flight delay around Christmas much higher than if you go the first or second weekend. So I had a good time, enjoyed myself. Actually, when I flew into Chicago at O'Hare Airport, I had a couple of hours before my sister could come pick me up. So I went to the Cubs bar. I actually posted on my own Facebook page. I went to the Cubs bar in the airport. Way cool. So I had Chicago style hot dogs, had some Sam Adams winter lager. I was just kicking back, enjoying myself, going, I hope my sister doesn't come to pick me up. I mean, I could just be here for hours. And if take your time. I'm good. So no, it was really, it was a fun place. Had all kinds of Cubs memorabilia, even the tables. Like the actual tables had the big round Cubs logo on it. It was a neat place. So if you're actually in the airport in Chicago ever, so Sean, if you go to Chicago, you're stuck in the Chicago airport, in Chicago O'Hare Airport, look for the Cubs bar. It's kind of a cool place. Right. And the hot dogs are really good too. But I got a chance to spend some time with some of my old high school friends who are, yes, we're all old. They graduated with me, so they're just as old as I am. But Doug and Terry and Amy and Kathy and who am I leaving out? Sandy and let's see who else. There's a few more in there, and all those people. So I know I left a couple people out, and I'm probably gonna hear about it. But I had a good time hanging out in Chicago, and surprisingly, it was actually very mild in Chicago while I was there. It only got below freezing once. The whole time out, and I was there for 6 days. So, I mean, it only got below freezing one time. And of course, that was in the middle of the night. But it was like 40s, and it actually broke 50 once or twice while I was there. So actually, really mild. It was really enjoyable. Now I left And now this week, highs are in the 30s the entire week. So they'll go down to like the teens in the middle of the night. So I was glad I went when I did. So that's a good sign. I also want to thank my mom. Okay, big props to my mom. I should, doggone it. I was gonna do that, and I forgot. I was gonna bring a cream wafer for Sean to take. She made the cookies. She made the cream wafers.
Darn.
But I will say it was really funny because she rolled out the dough. Remember I told you they're real fragile and they break, and you got to be real careful. They're super light. But it was funny because she made when she first made them, she's like, well, here, I'll give you a couple, because you make the little wafers or whatever, and then you make the frosting, and then you put the frosting in the middle. They're like a little sandwich cookie. Okay. Mm-hmm. So she's like, well, here, I'll just do 2 so you can taste them while I'm making the rest of them. She's my mom. She's trying to be nice,
Right.
And she broke the second cookie. I mean, it's that fast. I mean, it's like, it didn't take long. So on the second cookie, she was like, these break all the time. I'm like, there you go. That's why you never make them, Mom, because they're infuriating, but they were really good. So thank you for making those, Mom. She made some other stuff too. My sister Maggie made masticholi. That's always my favorite when I go to Chicago for dinner. So that was fantastic. She also made tiramisu. That was her first time. That was her first attempt at the dessert tiramisu. That turned out well. Also, I forgot. Sean did notice it when I walked in the room, but since I've got the microphone kind of in front of me, Mom or any of my friends out there notice anything?
Not subtle at all.
I actually shaved my goatee. I was getting a lot of white in there. A couple of my sisters were giving me a hard time. Getting a lot of the gray and white going on in the goatee. So don't worry, I'll let it. I'll have to see my mom goes, oh, you shaved. Like she couldn't figure that out after my subtle, But I decided to just shave it. I went to when I got back from Chicago, flew back into Jacksonville where my grandkids are. And we took my grandkids and my son Jack and my daughter-in-law Brittany, took them to Cirque Musicale Holiday Spectacular. Sounds very fancy dancy, doesn't it?
Sounds spectacular.
Yeah, yes, it really does. It was at the Florida Theater. And now what I called it was kind of a poor man's Cirque du Soleil.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Exactly. So that's what I called it. I'm like, it's kind of a poor man's Cirque du Soleil. But they did it to, there was some music. There was Christmas music in it. There was a Christmas story in it. Not the Christmas story, a different Christmas story. Christmas themed story is probably what I should say. But kids loved it. It was really cool. You can go, it's spelled CIRQUE and then musicale. It spells like musical, but they pronounce it musicale. So Cirque Musicale, and you can like check out the video. You can see some of the cool stuff. They had some really neat stuff, like all these acrobats and just a lot of neat things that went on. So that was pretty dang cool. So we enjoyed ourselves at the Florida Theater. So if Cirque Musicale, by the way, this Cirque Musicale travels around the country all the time. So they do like music and flips and acrobats and all this kind of. It's almost like the mixture of gymnastics, the circus, and a musical. Kind of all wrapped into one, if you will. But so Cirque Musicale, they tour around the country. And when I got done, when the show was done, they asked, they gave, like to give it a review. So, out of 5. And I was like, well, I asked my son, Jack, and my daughter-in-law, Brittany, what they thought. So we came up with like 3.5 to 4. So, above average. So that's good. A couple of them, you could tell like some of the actors like really weren't very good actors, but that's okay. They also had to, they had to find people who could actually do acrobats and all that kind of stuff and act at the same time. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. My mom, by the way, just said, I forgot the cinnamon rolls. I forgot to mention that. Yes, I did forget to mention. Those were awesome. Now, Sean, when you think of like a cinnamon roll, you probably think like the ones you buy at the store, right? Like in a little can.
Yeah, Pillsbury Doughboy.
Exactly. Which there's nothing wrong with those. Those are mighty good. I mean, they are. Right. Those are mighty good. But my mom's homemade cinnamon roll, they're like this big. I mean, they're huge. They're really big and they're way better than the Pillsbury Doughboy. No disrespect to the Pillsbury Doughboy. No disrespect to him. But my mom's, man, she kills. She kills on the cinnamon rolls. So those were really, really, really good. So let's move on to 'tis the season. It's the holidays. And boy, do I have a weird beer for you today. Never had this. It is the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint Porter. Peppermint Porter. So you might recall, Sean, that I actually did the beer of the week, Kentucky Bourbon Barrel. Their regular, the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel ale. I've
Right.
had that, which was very good. So I was like, okay, same company. And they also do a strawberry ale, which is good. So that's some unique flavors. But this one, it's a limited time, obviously only for the holidays, the Peppermint Porter. So we're going to see if this baby lives up to the hype. So by the way, it's very expensive, so it better be good. That is surprisingly good. I was kind of expecting it to be kind of gross. I really was. But no, I mean that's what it tastes like. It tastes like the York peppermint patty.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, like there's you can tell there's like a hint of chocolate and obviously peppermint. That's really good. I don't know if I could drink a lot of them. Like this would be perfect for like an after dinner beer. That's really good. Yeah, I mean, like you can actually,
nice palate cleanser.
Yeah, no, but I'm like, you can actually taste the mint, and that's pretty dang good. By the way, you can find this more information about this LexingtonBrewingCo.com, Lexington Brewing Company, but it's LexingtonBrewingCo.com. You find out more about Kentucky Bourbon Barrel label, the Peppermint Porter, only out for a limited time, so you might want to try that. I tell you, I think my sister Barb would actually like this, and she doesn't even like beer. So, hey, Barb, go buy some of this. My sister Barb, she's watching. So go buy some Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint Porter, and just pour a little bit in a glass, and I bet you like it, and give the rest about. That's her husband. But no, that's actually really good. I'm surprised, but it's very strong. I'll let you know. It's 8.2 alcohol per volume. So it's very, very strong. It's like, double about, what a regular beer is, but man, that's actually pretty good. So you said you do or you don't like peppermint patties?
Oh, I love them. I haven't had one in quite a while, but I like them. Yeah, I was just getting some
That's really good.
some of those little peppermint sticks from the bank yesterday. That was the first time I'd had anything minty in a while. And
yeah, isn't that weird? Like, we eat candy canes in December, but then like you hardly ever eat.
I forget how much I like them.
Remember the little red circle ones that are like,
yeah.
Now when I was a kid, it was Brock's. Remember, like Brock's was the name brand. Brock's Starlight Mints, I think is what they were called, if I remember correctly. Brock's Starlight Mints. And that's all you could find, and then the knockoffs started coming.
Right.
Now the Brock's ones, I have to say, they're, top notch. The Brock's are the ones that when you open, like the little twisty wrapper, when you open them, they don't stick to the wrapper. Where you buy the cheapy ones and, they tend to stick, to the little cellophane, and you're like,
right.
kind of trying to bite it off the wrapper.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of the wrapper in your mouth, you're sucking on the little candy for like, 20 minutes, like, oh, and there's another piece of wrapper there. Okay. All right, another little piece of wrapper, low calorie, apparently. Oh, by the way, Candace Smith, she said, and those soft ones. Oh yeah. I forgot. That's a bigger thing in the South, I have to say. The South always had the soft soft can. What do you call those? I mean, what do you call them here? The soft ones. Is there a name for them, or is it just soft candy cane mints or something?
I'm really not sure. I mean, that's probably what I was.
He's only born and raised here. He doesn't know.
Yeah,
he's just like, I don't know.
I don't pay any attention.
I don't know. I just eat them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
My
eat
mom
whatever.
my mom and granny make stuff, and I eat it. That's what I do.
Literally, I was gonna say whatever she brings, I eat it. That's the story of my life.
It's like, I don't care what it's called. Does it taste good? Okay, good.
If she doesn't bring me something, I'm gonna eat ramen or like toasted waffles for every meal. So
Toasted, is that like Eggos, like frozen waffles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, I found some French toast ones. Now I can't find them anywhere anymore.
Oh,
it's depressing.
Life sucks.
Yes.
Oh. Sean is not having a feel good Friday. He can't find the French toast sticks.
I know.
Somebody help out Smith find out where he can get the French toast sticks. By the way, good morning to Candace too, by the way. So the beer of the week again, this is actually really good. I'm really surprised. The Peppermint Porter, Kentucky Bourbon Barrel. So go check it out. So when I was at my sister's in Chicago, we didn't really do like, the quote unquote gift giving, because it's early. And I mean, like they'll do Christmas when I'm not there. So, but I did get a couple presents while I was there. I got a Billy Goat Tavern t-shirt, which if you're not familiar with what that is, it's a famous restaurant. They make really good cheeseburgers. It's a famous restaurant in Chicago. And the old Saturday Night Live, like the old Saturday Night Live, where they do the cheeseburger skit with John Belushi, that was based on the Billy Goat Tavern. So
Huh.
But I got one of those. So that was pretty cool. And got a lot of food. Cookies, food, enjoyed the company, enjoyed the food. So just some great stuff. What are are now, you said you're going to your grandma's for Christmas. Is that right, Sean?
Yes, we'll be going there tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yes. I'm gonna have
Tomorrow's not Christmas.
I know.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I was gonna say this earlier when you were talking about how you always go up there earlier. It always seems like for some reason it's just more convenient to not schedule these things on the actual holiday.
Yeah. Well,
This is how it
because
usually goes.
traveling, it's so, I mean, the roads are busy and people are busy. Plus, you got a lot of splintered families now.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
it just becomes the norm. I mean, so many people are divorced. So you have the kids who have, mom and dad, then they got stepmom and stepdad, and you got step grandma and great, step uncle, and there's a lot of stepping going on, in the world right now. But not that that's a bad thing. It just, that means that you got to spread it out because for obvious reasons, all of both sides of the family and the steps, they're not all coming together. No, even though it is a season, but no, they're not doing that.
Especially not on the same day.
That's what I'm saying. They don't come to the same place and they don't celebrate together. So that means the kids kind of have to be, carted around and, sent over here and over there. And even now, I mean, with Christmas Eve, if you recall, like I know when I was a kid, when my sister Barb, when she got married, she would have to go to, her in-laws either on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and then they would come to our house Christmas Day or Christmas, you know what I mean? They offset. So it was just the one or the other. So you went Christmas Eve or you went Christmas Day. And like you said, now it's like you got to go to 17 places and it's just like, holy crap. So, unfortunately, not everybody comes together on the same day, same time, same location. So you got to kind of have things going on, throughout the month. In fact, think about it. I mean, so it'll be tomorrow. It'll be December 18th when you're doing Christmas. I was there on December, like the 10th or something like that,
Right.
So it kind of, it really does become like a week before Thanksgiving, the holiday season arrives and that's just what you do. I mean, people just, get together and you go have parties with your friends and family and all that kind of stuff. And you just, make it a good time. Speaking of our office party tonight, so looking forward to some good food and friendship and fellowship and all those, probably a few other F words that'll fly. Just saying. But looking forward to that with our gang here at Billy Merritt Marketing. And thanks to Billy and April for putting it all together. And they're going to, give us some good food and some good fun. So we'll have a really good time. So Merry Christmas early to Jordan Peach, who just joined the program and said, Merry Christmas, Paul. Merry Christmas early, Paul. Yeah, notice he said Paul. He didn't say Paul and Smith. He just said Paul. I'm just saying. Throw that out there. So when you guys get together, Sean, do you guys play music in your, like when you guys get together tomorrow, you're going to your grandma's, will you have music playing in the background or is it just off?
It's usually just off. I will end up when I realize that I'm going to be sitting down doing nothing, I'll do what I always do. I'll grab my grandpa's guitar and start playing Hotel California or something.
That's cool. I mean,
that's what I do.
No, that's really cool. So like, no, do you just play Hotel California on Christmas? So you don't play Christmas songs?
It feels like I end up doing that every year. I mean, there are those songs that one out of the, the 10 people in the room's always going to ask for. I mean, Hotel California is definitely the one that comes to mind.
So that's the holiday classic in the Smith home. Hotel California, the holiday classic.
You got it.
So do you play a Christmas song though? I mean, do you play any Christmas songs when you play?
I'm not sure. I don't think
he doesn't know any.
I don't think I know any Christmas songs. I've been listening to one that I want to learn.
Yeah, because that Jingle Bell song, it's tough. I mean, it's hard to learn.
Oh, well, I mean, I can play the melody. I know that much.
Those Christmas songs, boy, they're really hard to learn. He can play Hotel California, but he can't play Jingle Bells.
Yeah, maybe Carol of the Bells.
That one's a little more difficult.
Yeah, I know that melody pretty well.
So you're going to play Carol of the Bells on the guitar?
Perhaps.
Okay. That'll be good. You got to get a video of that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You got to get, you got to get a video of that so you can share that.
Okay.
And I want to make a request. I want you to do, let's see. I want you to do something fun. So, well, you play Jingle Bells. That's easy. It's up tempo.
Yep.
Or Santa Claus Coming to Town. That's an easy, that's up tempo.
Yeah.
And then get all serious. I want you to play Silent Night.
I love Silent Night.
So, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So play that on the guitar. So, play that one first. Play Silent Night first. Get the family all weepy.
I'd have to brush up, but I did used to know Greensleeves. I used to know like the classical guitar version of that one.
Mm-hmm.
I love that song.
So, well, play that one. Play Silent Night. Get the family all sappy and weepy, and it's like, oh, is this season? There's a little bit of a tear. Oh, and then come right in and just smack them in the face with Santa Claus is coming to town. just the jam of Santa Claus is coming to town. By the way, speaking of a jam for the holidays, I know it's not something that you typically think of when you're thinking of holiday music, Christmas music. You don't really think of like the in your face up tempo stuff. But I tell you what, this album came out. We're going to do the classic rock revisit. REO Speedwagon, the Not So Silent Night is the title of the album. Not So Silent Night. They do some really good modern contemporary versions of some Christmas classics. So they're not just nothing again. I've said I love Christmas music. I do. I mean, I like it. I don't want to hear it like in, the end of October, but I like Christmas music. So, but a lot of it sounds the same because, they play the traditional versions and all that kind of stuff. And so what they've done is they kind of modernized the sound of them. So even though they do classics, they do the First Noel and they do, Little Drummer Boy and there's some other Deck the Halls is on there. But the one that I really like that they kind of made their own, and Sean, I hope you know this one. Children Go Where I Send Thee. Remember that song? Oh,
it's not ringing any bells.
I thought I had him. I had him. Children Go Where I Send Thee. They do a version of this, and it's very up tempo. It's very, I don't know. It's just happy. It's feel good for a feel good Friday. Play REO Speedwagon's Children Go Where I Send Thee. No, they do a really cool version of it, but the whole album, again, there's some serious softer stuff on there too. But it's very modern and just very contemporary. So it doesn't sound so dated, for lack of a better word. Now that the album actually came out in 2009, so it's not super old, but it's old enough. I mean, what is that? I hate math. 11 years? Yeah, 11 years. 2009. So 11 years? Yeah, 11 years. So yeah, thanks for corroborating that for me. Sean just over there, he's just like, math.
Need more coffee.
math. He's just got this look, math. Not math.
I can pull up calculator.
Bring up anime and his eyes twinkle and his face lights up, he's all that. You throw in math and he's
it's like an injection of caffeine straight in the bloodstream. It's 12 years, Paul. I pulled up the calculator.
12 years. Thank you very much. So there it is. 12 years. So 12 years ago, REO Speedwagon's Not So Silent Night. But again, we've talked about this. People don't really buy albums or or CDs or records or whatever you want to call it. They don't really buy those anymore. They download them, and those are still the people who actually pay for their music. But since Sean doesn't really treasure music like I do, he steals it. He just goes online. He doesn't pay for it. No, I'm sorry. Man. He pays YouTube $5 a month, to steal the music
Pretty
online. Now, so whatever platform that you listen to, check it out. The REO Speedwagon Not So Silent Night. It actually is pretty cool. By the way, REO Speedwagon. Now I'm really, I'll be surprised if Sean even knows who any of these bands are. But there's a 3-band. Well, now, first of all, did you know who REO Speedwagon was?
Yeah, I know who REO
Okay, all right. So he might know who these bands are. He might know.
I've heard the songs that everyone have.
Okay, all right. Name an REO Speedwagon song besides "Children Go Where I Send Thee."
Oh God, what is that song called? It's the ballad one that starts with the piano.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, the ballad one that REO Speedwagon does. That narrows it down.
How embarrassing! I can never think of the names because I would just Google it.
Yeah, they only have like 10, that ballad that REO Speedwagon plays. Keep on Loving You. That's the one you're thinking of.
Keep on Loving You. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's the big one. Like I said, they got like 9 other ballads. But anyway, REO Speedwagon is going to be touring this summer. It's a 3-band show. Going to be touring with Styx. Now, do you remember Styx?
Yeah, I've heard some of their songs.
Spell the band Styx.
STYX.
Okay.
Like the Styx River.
Gotcha. Oh, look at him.
Or the river Styx. I said it backwards.
Yeah. I mean, you said it backwards. The river Styx, the Styx River. Oh, make sure you get that right. The band is called Styx, and you can only have one word, so you can't say it wrong or backwards or whatever. So the Styx. So REO Speedwagon, Styx, and Loverboy. Do you remember the band Loverboy?
I don't think I've ever listened.
Okay,
to
I'm sure you know the song "Everybody's Working for the Weekend."
Oh
Yeah, that's Loverboy. That's their their
Okay.
big hit. But they've had Loverboy had quite a few back in the '80s. My heyday. So these are it's like the '80s triple headed monster kind of thing that's coming out. But they're actually going to be on tour. I want to go to that show. Like I said, that was my heyday. Now I've seen Styx a couple times. They're really good live. Sadly, they don't have Dennis DeYoung. He was one of the singers in the band. They can't get along. They no, you suck. No, you suck. No, you suck. So they're just whatever. So Dennis DeYoung actually tours by himself, and then the rest of Styx, they tour by themselves, and it's just a thing. But I've seen Styx without Dennis DeYoung, and they actually are good. They got a different keyboard player who sings a lot like Dennis DeYoung. Not exactly the same, but pretty good. So they're good. I just saw REO Speedwagon just a couple years ago for the second time, and they sound incredibly good. Everybody's still in the band, with the exception of their guitar player, Gary Richrath, who passed away. So they got a replacement guitar player, but they're really good. They sound really good. So they put on a good show. I've never seen Loverboy, so I'm looking forward to seeing that triple-headed '80s monster. Come along this summer. So
known as the Hydra.
Say again.
Known as the Hydra.
The Hydra. Oh, look at the Hydra.
That's what I kept thinking when you say.
Is it the Hydra? Or is it Hydra the Hydra the bands, or is it the Hydra or whatever? I
just feel like we keep making references to like Greek mythology and stuff.
Start talking like Yoda.
Oh boy.
Can you? I can't even do the Yoda thing. Can you do Yoda?
A Feel Good Friday. It is. I don't know if I can do the accent though.
All right, give me your best Yoda. Now he gets stage fright. Suddenly he gets stage fright. Well, but give him, the.
I'm going straight into the Emperor.
All right, go ahead, go.
Strong with you, the forces. I see. I sound more like the Emperor. I can't think of his voice. Why can't I think of his voice?
Smith sounds like he's a UFC fighter.
This is a funny thing because my cousin Keegan, as much of like an anime weeb as I am, and I'm always like calling him the normie, like I'm the Star Wars normie to him. So just
gotcha.
Funny how that works, I guess.
By the way, Guy Stevens, a guy I went to high school with, a guy that I went to high school with, he said, saw a great cover band earlier this past summer called Cheap Sticks. And I'll bet you'll never guess what kind of stuff they play. So obviously, the combination of Cheap Trick and the band Styx, I bet they were really good. He said they were good. That would have been a really good show. I love Cheap Trick. I mean, you've heard me say that a bunch of times. Love Cheap Trick. I wish that I could go see Cheap Trick as a headliner. They're always the second band. So they only get like 45 minutes. I always want them to play like, deeper cuts and stuff. Because they play like, that gives them about 10 songs.
Right.
Where I want to hear them play like 25, so that's just me. Maybe I can win the lottery and do, like a personal show by Cheap Trick. I'll just pay him a crap ton of money. Play all 25 songs that I want you to play. Doing that. Hey, Doug Morris, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you too. Saying, check out Leo. What is that? Leo Leo Mastacholi. Metal Christmas covers. I've never heard of him, so I'll have to check that out. Of course, we just talked about Gary Hoey. Gary Hoey's Ho Ho Hoey, his albums that he's had out. So Gary Hoey's always fun. Remember I told you that. By the way, did you listen to any of that?
I don't think I
did. I was just gonna say, I'm like, you're such a liar.
Sometimes I listen to you and I go listen, and then sometimes I immediately forget.
He doesn't listen to me.
I mean, here's the thing. Probably all the ones you recommended to me are probably in my Watch Later playlist, along with the other 3,000 videos in my Watch Later.
You have 3,000 videos in your watch list, whatever you called it.
Yes.
Jeez,
it's bad.
So that's like your musical DVR, basically.
I guess so.
Save for later kind of a deal.
Well, the sad thing with YouTube is every time you get on there, it's like videos that have been deleted, unavailable, or copyright stricken will not be here. And there's like 15 videos that are just gone every time I check it. Anyway.
Well, here's the solution. Maybe you could just watch them when you're typing them in, into your phone and saving them. Maybe you could just watch them. That way you wouldn't have to worry about them being deleted later.
Oh,
just a thought. I'm no expert like you are at YouTube. Or hey, you know what? Here's a better way. If you want to hear those songs, buy them. You could buy those songs and then you can play them whenever you want.
It's true.
As many times as you want. Of course, if the song sucks and you're mad that you spent $1 on that song. And well, this is a piece of crap. I could have got an anime something for $1. So something. Anyway. Enough about the anime. So you're going tomorrow. Now, you guys going to your grandmother's house? Is that where you're going?
Yes, grandma's house on my father's side.
Are you going?
I don't know why I said that way.
Are you going over the mountains and through the woods, or over the river and through the woods, or whatever it is?
It's like 50 yards from my house.
50 yards. All right. So
I bike by it every day. I see them.
So he's going over the puddle and through the yard
Yeah.
to grandmother's house we go. Okay.
It's literally one turn.
Boy, that's a long haul.
Through the trees.
Give yourself plenty of time for commute. So grandma lives right next to you, or right down the street from you, or right down the road, I should say.
Yeah, we all kind of live in a little triangle.
Is it the Bermuda Triangle? Or is it, no, it's the Smith Triangle.
You got it.
So it's a triangle. So who are the three houses?
Okay, it's me and my parents. It's my grandparents and one of my aunt and uncles, along with my cousin Keegan and all of them that I'm always mentioning. They live back behind us. Grandparents live in front of us. We sort of live
by the way,
side in the woods.
We really haven't given Keegan the airtime that he deserves. So, give us a little bit of background on Keegan.
Well, Keegan is my, I guess, technically step cousin, but I mean, he's basically my best friend.
Hang on. I got to interject. Remember, we were just talking about that. All the weird, steps.
Yeah.
A step cousin. We have step cousins now too. So Keegan, the step cousin. All right, continue.
You got it. Well, I guess we met when we were both probably like 12 or so. I mean, we both grew up on the Pokemon and the Jackie Chan adventures and all that stuff. So we were both into anime and video games growing up. We played together a lot. Now we stream together. When I'm streaming, I'm usually streaming with him. We do these little unboxing videos. If you've seen, I doubt anyone listening to this has seen, but quote unquote, if you've seen any of my unboxing videos, he's the guy in those videos with me. Yeah, that's my boy. He's a big Star Wars fan. He loves sports. He's way into sports like you. He's constantly posting about it on Facebook.
So wait a minute. So you guys are tight and he's all about sports, but you don't follow it at all?
I don't at all. He still tells me about it. I mean, we'll like meme it up. Like he'll send me a oh god, I keep forgetting things today. The memes about he'll send me like the Tom Brady memes and stuff like that because I sort of kind of get those, but I mean anything beyond the brilliance of Tom Brady. I mean even South Park's mentioned him at this point.
Wow.
Other than that, I don't know anything.
How sad is that? He's not even a sports fan. He's like the brilliance of Tom Brady. Man,
I just love the memes. There's freaking memes where it's like the old Tom and Jerry scene where he's got his top hat and the cigar, and the hat's down over his head, and he like flips the cigar up and
So Keegan, the step cousin, sports fan,
big sports fan.
And so I kind of put all that into one. So, and how old is Keegan?
He's the same age as me. I believe he's a couple of months younger.
I was just gonna say, wait a minute. When I thought you were gonna go, he's the same age as me. I believe and I thought you were like couldn't remember how old you were.
No. I was just gonna say, I think he's still 28. If not, he just turned.
But by the way, Sean is not drinking behind the scenes. I'm just I thought
I'm drinking the Locomoca. Hey,
yeah.
I really have been making a bad habit lately of
So what are you drinking today?
The Locomoca by Monster. It's one of the Java monsters. It's not the Mean Bean. I'd rather be drinking the Mean Bean. No one seems to have the Mean Bean lately. Can't find it at Sonico. Can't find it on the
dang Mean Beans I can't find them.
Can't find them anywhere. The Mean Bean's more of like a light sort of, I don't know, hint of vanilla type of thing.
So
really
Mean Bean.
Mean Bean. Yeah, you'd think the Mean Bean would be the darker one, but it's really sweet.
But it's not. It's sweet.
Yeah.
And it tastes like coffee.
Mm-hmm.
The Mean Bean tastes like coffee.
Yeah, I mean maybe somewhere between a cappuccino and a coffee.
So why don't you just get a coffee?
because okay, I do. We have
Look at him because
we have we have a coffee maker. Or this actually does take me to another something.
Of course it does.
Funny story. We have the K cup maker at home. Okay, years ago,
Yeah, those are tough. Those are hard to use. Yeah.
Years ago,
Where's the bean?
I found the K cups by Gloria Jean in the mudslide flavor. The mudslide flavor of Gloria Jeans was like the only one I found that I could drink black. Like it still tasted good enough. I guess it had that chocolatey taste to it, and I just didn't mind. I didn't put sugar or creamer in it. It just like disappeared off the face of the earth. Couldn't find it on Amazon or anywhere. Like I see recommendations and questions like on other mudslide flavored coffees of people like, does it taste anything like Gloria Jean's mudslide? And people are like, no, it's not the same. And finally, I went to Gloria Jean's actual website, and the way that you can get Gloria Jean's mudslides is through 1 pound of whole coffee beans. So I'm one of those people now. I got a pound of whole coffee beans at home. It was all worth it. Mudslide, it's amazing.
So is it better than Mean Bean? That's a
pretty-
no.
It's pretty close.
That's a no.
It's I mean,
The hesitation is a no.
it's dark. It says it's a medium roast, but I think it should really be like a tick above medium roast. Personally, it's pretty dark. My parents think it's really strong.
So all I got from that was he referenced some Gloria jeans, and all I could think of was Gloria Vanderbilt jeans. You know, and
for some reason, I just had to tell that story.
yeah. So that's the only thing I could think of was like Gloria Vanderbilt, you know, with a name on your butt.
well, the question was like, do I drink actual coffee? I think.
Now, actually, speaking of coffee, when I was at my sister's, I get up a lot earlier now that I'm older. You know, so I mean, I got up earlier than my nieces and nephews. My sister had gone to work; she'd already left for work. So it's like I think it was like 10 after 7, which isn't really like super. I mean, it is for you. You know, Sean's like 10 to 7 or 10 after 7. Oh my gosh.
I'm getting better. When I roll out of bed at like 8:30, I'm like, oh my God, I slipped in. That used to be like 11.
Oh, who are you kidding? When I sent you that stuff just a couple weeks ago, you're like, I've been up for like 30 minutes. The show starts at 11. You know, I mean, our show starts at 11. He's like, I've been up for like 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Did you just say a couple of weeks ago?
Yes.
Well, that was a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, he's made a life change. In the last couple of weeks, he's made a life change.
Well, it's funny. I have actually started getting up earlier, but like I got to where I was going to bed early and getting up earlier, but now I'm just staying up and getting up earlier.
So when you said that you went to bed early, I'm curious. When you said that you started going to bed early, you know, before you went to bed early for a little while, what's an early bedtime for you?
It was usually between 11 and midnight.
That's early.
At the earliest 10 o'clock. I went to bed at 10 o'clock like a week ago because I was exhausted for some reason. Probably lack of sleep because I'm just bad at managing it. But
how can you not? I mean, like, do you have? Well, I guess I was just going to say, how can you not manage your sleep? But I guess I have to preface it with this: do you have difficulty going to sleep?
I do have difficulty going to sleep. My mind works a million miles a minute as soon as my head hits the pillow. But on top of that, I do this thing a lot where like everybody goes to bed and I'm like, okay, let's go work on the project for like an hour while like there's no distractions, no chance of any distractions. And then I turn.
Is it a secret project?
No. Okay. I'm working on the Cowboy Bebop one right now. That's what I've been editing. But I mean, I'll start editing that at like 10:30, 11, and then I'll look over at some point and I'm like, I'm deep in the project. I've completely lost track of time. It's 1:30 in the morning. Before you know it, that's just how I am when I get deep into a creative project.
No, that I can actually understand. You know, I mean, I don't do it all the time like you. I mean,
right.
like you know, when I say go to bed early, I'm talking like 8:30.
I don't know how you could do it.
Yeah, well, no, I'm like, you know, that I don't do that all the time.
Right.
Usually it's between 10 and 11. You know, that's when I usually go to bed, between 10 and 11. You know, sometimes a little, you know, between 11 and 12. If I'm really living on the edge, I'll hit that AM time, you know, like, ooh, it's 12:15 AM and I'm just going to bed. You know, I'm a rebel. I'm out of control. I'm a party animal. And that happens when you get old. Like once you roll into the next day, you're like, hey, what the hell? I should be asleep by now. You know, I mean, you shouldn't be up, you know, but that's the kind of a thing. But no, when you're talking about, you know, like your mind rolling, I'll do that occasionally, like on maybe, Saturday night or something like that, where I'll be up and you just start getting into something. And that's what the internet will do sometimes too. You just start searching, takes you to this place, and you go to this place, go to this place, go to this place, like all over the place, where you're just distracted by every little thing. Kind of reminds me of Billy Merritt. Just saying. Ooh, look, shiny thing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But that happens. And then the next thing you know, like if it's something you're interested in, time goes by. It seems to go by much faster. Was it time flies when you're having fun, that kind of thing. But then if you're doing math, time drags. It's like, oh my gosh, it just drags. My mom said the time flies when she's doing jigsaw puzzles. That's funny.
Is it that, or is she saying work jigsaw puzzles to get sleepy?
I don't know. Mom, can you clarify that? Do you stay up doing jigsaw puzzles, or do you do jigsaw puzzles so you can get sleepy? We need some help here for Smith. Does Sean need to buy a jigsaw puzzle so he can sleep at night? I thought maybe he would just and like most people would count sheep. You've heard of that, right? You're not that young. You've heard of that, right?
I've heard of that.
Counting sheep. I just figured like Sean was he would just count anime. Just count anime characters.
Oh, I guess
staying up doing puzzles. There she goes. So that doesn't make you sleepy. I would think that would be really hard on your eyes. Do you do puzzles?
It's been a while since I've done puzzles.
When was the last time you did a puzzle?
About 3 years ago.
I'm gonna buy Smith a puzzle for Christmas.
I think I still have some at home. I just haven't touched them in a while.
I mean, what do you remember what the most the number of pieces, the largest number of pieces that you've ever put together in a puzzle? Mom, that one's for you too. What's the largest number of puzzle, the number of pieces that you put a puzzle together? You remember, Sean?
I'm thinking about 200. I think.
No, that's child's play. That's like an 8-year-old puzzle.
I know. I
know 200 pieces. Come on.
I know that I've done a 500 before, but I can't remember if I actually fit it. 5,000.
What was Sean? Was yours a picture of a unicorn?
Maybe I'm misremembering.
200 pieces. Put together the unicorn, and your dream will come true. Now, my mom, she's serious about puzzles. I mean, I used to help her with puzzles, which I actually like. I do. I like putting puzzles together. It gets a little frustrating at times. You can't find that one piece. It's like time will go by. You're like, it's got to be in here somewhere. Did somebody throw away did we lose a piece? That's always what happens when you get like kind of struggled with it, and you get all frustrated. You think that somebody that we lost a piece. Or I love when you just open a brand new puzzle. And you you accuse the company. I think they're screwing with us. Yeah. I don't think they put all the pieces in here. You get all mad. Now my mom says now I do ones on the internet. I didn't realize I had puzzles on the internet.
They've got
everything on the internet, don't
they? All the board games, everything.
They've got everything on the internet. That's why Smith doesn't buy anything. He just borrows it online.
Well, there's like an internet version of everything you can buy now.
Yeah, I don't really understand how do you, I'm not even gonna get into it. I don't know how you do puzzles online. I mean, what are the pieces like all around the picture and you like have to click and drag and put it over here? I'm like, come on.
I'm thinking click and drag. I've seen some new, I don't know how new these are. I think it's like the Coinbase or the Weeble captchas. You have to like slide a puzzle piece into place to prove you're not a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hate those.
Yeah,
I hate those. I'd rather just say I'm a robot.
What about the ones where it's like it's got a piece of paper with like a pattern on the back, and there's like a 9 and an A and a Y and a 2 and an @ symbol, and it's like click on them in order, and like one of them's on top of the other,
and you can't quite make it out. Yeah. They do that on purpose.
Yeah,
like some guy just devises that stuff just to screw with you. It just happens. By the way, I would be remiss if I did not mention my brother-in-law Brian. Nice. I said that I got the Billy Goat Tavern t-shirt. He picked that up for me. But the best thing, what he did for me, it was in the show last week, but we were cutting out really bad during the show last week. So I wanted to make sure that I gave it its proper endorsement. Old Fezziwig, the beer, Sam Adams Old Fezziwig. So I wanted to make sure I gave it its proper endorsement. Old Fezziwig was the beer of the week last week. And it's only available in that winter pack, the Cheers for Beers pack. And my Brian went. I mean, he actually went and got me some. And there's Old Fezziwig.
There's the old one.
That's the old label. That's a cool label. That's the cool one. Now they changed it. They made it all generic looking.
Cheers. Yeah, there's the case anyway. That's the one that
Yeah,
you
that one's
week.
generic. I don't like that one. See it up there. It's just kind of generic. But Old Fezziwig was the beer of the week last week. But again, because it kind of cut out and was getting all screwy, whatever. So it kind of messed up last week our show. But the beer was still good, and so I highly recommend Old Fezziwig. Once a year, it should be a tradition. Go buy the Sam Adams Cheers for Beers festive pack, I think is what they call it now. But this week, let's wrap up the show here in just a minute. But before we do, this week, our beer of the week, and by the way, this was surprisingly good. And yep, that means the show's about done. When I can tip the bottle sideways, then that means the show's about done. Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint Porter. I know it sounds gross. I thought it sounded kind of weird too, but peppermint porter, it tastes like a York peppermint patty in a bottle. It's actually pretty good. So try that. Again, it'd be a great after dinner beer. So you can try that on this holiday season, something unique and different. You can try that. And especially those cold nights up in Chicago, my northern Yankee friends, this would be fitting by the fire. And look at Smith. He's even got the fire going. Right, there it is. He's even got the fire. I got to figure out where this is on the screen. I need to just turn around.
You're close enough.
This right here. I can do that when I just point. But he's even got the fire going here in South Georgia. So, hey, we've had a great time. My mom just said, have a great weekend. Look at it. She's like, shut up. Just end the show. Just shut up.
Have a good weekend. She knows when it's winding down.
Yeah, she's like, have a good weekend. Fun show. Yeah, I got to go. That's what she's talking about.
She's that person on YouTube who never watches the end sequence.
Nope. It's like, I'm done. I'm out. See ya.
Screw your course.
My mom is the Cowboy Bebop viewer. It's I'm out. I can't take it anymore. I'm gone. Anyway, thanks for watching, Mom and everybody else. Don't forget, try out the Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Peppermint Porter. Also, go listen to, I know you're not going to buy it. Who am I kidding? So go listen to the REO Speedwagon Not So Silent Night Christmas album from how many years ago? 12 years ago, and go check that out. And thanks again for everybody for watching. Have a great holiday season. We will have a show. It'll be a shortened show, but we will have a show next week on Christmas Eve. And I know, you should see the look on Sean's face right now. Like, are you freaking kidding me? He was like, come on, man. But yes, we will have a shortened show next week on Christmas Eve. In the meantime, have a great weekend. Remember, if you're going to be drinking this weekend or anytime, make sure that you got a designated driver. Please drink responsibly. Have a great time, and we will see you next week.